So, you've been canceled. 10 years ago, no one would have known what those words mean, and now,
critical of J.K. Rowling.
R.I.P. J.K. Rowling.
we hear them nearly every day. People get canceled for jokes, for opinions that were mainstream just a few years ago,
Blasting the popular actor and comedian for old tweets and comedy routines.
for simple, dumb mistakes.
Stop hunting for goodwill. You're not going to find much in this country.
Here's the thing, don't believe everything you see online.
You're just lying.
Who knows if any of it's true?
I just get in front of the camera and do it. Walk away, I'll get someone.
Cancel culture is crazy.
It's all nonsense across the board.
And here's something that's even more crazy. I'm gonna spend the next 7 days trying to get myself canceled.
Our next speaker is a content marketing expert. Would you like for her to show you how to do it? Put your hands together for the one and only.
I dreamed about that day for so long. Finally receiving recognition for my work, feeling validated for how hard I worked, feeling like I'd done something that I could be proud of. And when that moment finally happened, it turned out to be a nightmare. I never saw that coming. I thought that this recognition, this thing that I had dreamed of, this moment where you're supposed to feel like, oh, I made it. I did not see that coming.
Miss Marley Jaxx.
I got this award. To some, it might just be a business award, but to me, it symbolized how far I'd come. I'd worked my butt off to go from being a dental hygienist to having this little social media side business to having a full-blown business, being the CEO of my own company and being where I never imagined my life taking me. But one day, one person put out one flat-out lie online. Yeah, someone said I faked my award. They said I bought it. And that lie just spiraled out of control and got completely out of hand. I got bombarded with emails and DMs, hundreds of them. People threatened me.
Are you kidding me?
Marley Jaxx.
All because of one lie amplified on social media. And looking back, I wonder, is this what it feels like to get canceled? Is this how it happens? Can anyone at any time get caught up in this spiral of deceitful hatred? Let's get canceled. I'm in the middle of a scheme that may or may not take the internet by storm. This bowl contains the most scandalous, outrageous ideas known to humanity. I am going to pick them at random and post them online and just see what happens. Will the mob mentality come out? Will people defend me? Will I have to defend myself? Seriously, what am I getting into? Star Wars is overrated. People can get really heated about that. Pineapple on pizza, all right? The earth is flat, why is NASA covering it up? I can't say that out loud.
Oh, I mean, you can't say it, but you can tweet it.
I'm gonna get canceled making this video. No, that's where I draw the line, absolutely not. Okay, that one's better. I wonder how much of cancel culture is just a reflection of something that we are unable to acknowledge in ourselves, and so we just cancel. If you make a mistake, I should be able to hold your feet to the fire and blame you for things. Does that only keep them further in the dark? Isolating and shutting them out, that's not gonna help anyone. How does that help anyone grow? And what about for the people who are getting canceled today for something they said or did or tweeted like 10 years ago? When you're out in the world and you only have one aspect of view, that's how you're gonna operate. Everyone's correct given their viewpoint, meaning I'm only considering mine. I haven't looked at it from the other person. We don't know what Will Smith has gone through.
I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
And I'm not taking a side here by saying that, but it is a fact that he has done good things. And it is a fact that he has made mistakes. And so many people are quick to judge instead of to see how we could help. I feel very uncomfortable right now. Here we go. Let's do pineapple on pizza. Okay, I'm like really nervous doing this. I'm starting tame and then we'll get more offensive over time. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Change my mind. And tweet. Dave Chappelle is the top 3 funniest men alive. Change my mind. I have an opinion on my top favorite comedians. Again, based on my perspective, my belief. I haven't seen as much Dave Chappelle content. I am not exposed to as much. The FBI is the most corrupt organization in the country. Changed my mind. I don't think I can say that in a video. The world would be a better place with more capitalists. All right, let's try that. So going through Twitter, the only people that were outraged was my brother. What's going on with your Twitter? It looks really bad. And someone else outraged about UFOs. Instagram, however, we got a few flat earthers. People are stupid, 100% false. Nope, 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 not a chance. The earth is round, that's grounded in science. And then someone said, please leave. I'm wondering where all this cancel culture started. It seems like 10 years ago, it wasn't a thing. What happened? There will always be people who say bad things or do bad things and everyone goes, yeah, we don't want to know that person, you're out of here. But this seems different. We have people fired from their jobs for making jokes, people scared to speak or say what they think. Kevin Hart stepped down as the host of the Academy Awards in 2019 because of some old tweets from 2011 that contained some questionable language.
Blasting the popular actor and comedian for old tweets and comedy routines.
But he's a comedian who tells edgy jokes, right? J.K. Rowling has been canceled, and actors from the Harry Potter franchise have disassociated themselves from her. Used to be that you could recover from a mistake, and now it seems like if you put a foot out of line, it's game over. And if everyone's gonna be canceled for what they did in the past, what's the future? I don't really have an opinion on this. I don't know what to make of it, so it's time to call in the experts. What's your background and your experience with PR? You work with people that are well-known, some celebrities.
I jump ahead of, okay, you're gonna do the speech on the stage, who's the audience, who are we speaking to, what's going on in today's culture, what should you avoid in saying in terms of maybe you'll step over yourself. So it was a matter of, let's prepare, if this were to happen, what then? I worked at a company where there was a general counsel who was actually sexually harassing women there. He had ended up saying something to me in front of other women, and I was pretty high up in the company, and I had told him right then and there, I was like, do not say that ever again to me. I ended up going to HR, and she said that because the general counsel was so close to the CEO, that she would be fired if she brought it up to the CEO. And she said that if I wanted anything done, I had to take it to them. So we got the CEO in, and he was like, well, maybe if he just apologizes. And I was like, you have 30 women in your office right now confessing that they have been groomed or that they have had sexual harassment statements made to you, and you're just saying an apology is okay and acceptable. And I was like, whoa. The CEO ended up calling a very internationally known lawyer who knew the general counsel really well, and the CEO was like, I need guidance, what do I do? And that lawyer, who represents international brands, said, oh, I knew that about him. You didn't? Are you letting him go because I'll rehire him? He knew it however long he knew him, because they knew each other at the same time.
Yeah.
Then it was full stop for me. I had totally backed out of the situation. It was like, I'm not gonna fight this any further. I eventually left, but that company is still dealing with sexual harassment and still doesn't fire people because of it.
The company handles sexual harassment and gender discrimination complaints.
You were wronged somehow by somebody, or you think a celebrity is doing something wrong. If you go to fight them, they have the money to hire the lawyers. Oh, I don't. Or they can afford a lawyer that even competes with, the groups of lawyers that celebrities are able to do. It's not enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna slap you on the wrist with, just a fine. No, you can't make more money. The threat of paying off a victim may not be scary to a multimillionaire. The threat of not being able to make more money, though, is terrifying. Everyone would label the thing that this person did as bad. 100%, they'd be like, that was wrong, I cannot believe they did that, they should go to jail for life. But when it becomes somebody they know, it's hard to break free of the, let me protect them, let me love them, and who you're in support of represents you too, so they couldn't have done that. I wouldn't support somebody who would do that. I've seen that cancel culture actually holds those type of people accountable, whereas if cancel culture wasn't part of today's culture, they would not be scared at all. They would just keep doing what they're doing.
So far, it hasn't really worked. My effort to get soft canceled hasn't worked to this point. It's tough because I am trying to get a reaction. I have gotten some strong opinions, but I feel like I haven't gotten to the heart of what does it feel like to get canceled? What does the isolation feel like? What does people not liking me feel like? I mean, I felt that enough in my life already. I feel like everyone has, but to this level, there's more to explore here. I just don't know how to provoke this reaction without going down a path that I can't come back from. Like, I'm not gonna do something racist or discriminatory, that's just not me. Nothing is working. So I went to the street and I asked a number of people, what would it take for me to be unlikable or for me to be canceled? You know, polarizing people may be the most hated, but also very strongly loved by their audience that resonates. What about this? What if I ran into the street and said the worst word that I could think of? What if it was the F word? What if it was the N word? What if instead of my neighborhood street, it was in the middle of crowded downtown? Is it worse in a neighborhood where people know where I live, or is it worse in a huge crowd of strangers? Could I ask you a couple questions about cancel culture?
Sure.
What would I have to do for you to not like me?
Something mean to someone else, or like litter.
Probably just be rude.
Be rude?
Yeah.
Ignore?
I don't know you.
I think interactions on the street are a huge deal because you can tell when someone knows each other when they're having an argument or not.
I feel like the only time I cancel people is when they cancel someone that I like.
People feel like they can't even speak their minds or have to tiptoe around people just to not offend someone.
Baked. What's another one? He didn't like what I was saying. Didn't like that I was just, like, that's the whole point. I'm just trying, and I tried to say like, hey, it's for a documentary. He's like, I don't give a, like, he was like swearing at me. I see security coming our way, so I'm just gonna, Kendrick, let's just like turn the camera.
So we went to the park and I said some controversial things, and like some people commented on it, like some people joked along with it, and then there was an altercation is what they called it. Like at first I thought it was a joke, and I don't know if he thought that I was joking, but like this guy was yelling at me, then the security came and got involved, then the police came and got involved, and I was just like, I'm not having it. I just wanted to do this like silly little experiment. I don't know if we're gonna finish the experiment.
All right, Evan, so you work in an industry where people want to get into the press, but I imagine that your phone has just been like ringing off the hook with the day and the age that we're in with cancel culture.
Without a doubt, over the last several years, we've seen an enormous increase in the number of people seeking assistance playing defense. You know, we're unique in that we really do have two main types of clients. Yes, we have those who want to get in the press, and we also have a whole subset who want to get out of the press. And then we have the subset of clients who are facing either a high stakes or crisis or complex circumstance, or they're facing a cancel culture attack. Most people don't really understand the degree to which people's lives are destroyed when they are subjected to cancel culture. But the problem that we have is the speed with which you can go from being perfectly fine and progressing with your life or your career to fighting for your literal life. A woman almost lost her life because she endured so many threats, and gangs of people armed with weapons showed up at her home to kill her based upon a video that went viral, and she nearly died. What people don't understand is cancel culture can have serious, long-lasting consequences for the people who are subjected to the attacks. But look, we have accountability. We are afforded due process under the law. With cancel culture, that doesn't happen. You are tried, convicted, and sentenced before you've even made your defense pleadings. We are guaranteed constitutionally the right to free speech and free expression. With cancel culture, that doesn't happen. If I did something to you, Marley, I could apologize and you would forgive me. And then we would move on with our lives. Now, the problem with cancel culture is I do something wrong to you. It's not just viewed as I did something to you personally. It's I've done something against the collective. I've done it against women overall, writ large. But it's really the average guy or woman who finds themselves as woefully unprepared. They don't have teams of handlers and publicists and lawyers and agents. Those people are more at risk than anyone else of being canceled. And that's what we found as we were doing the research for the book and talking to people whose lives were disrupted and ruined. They just never saw it coming. And so I hope that people will pause for a moment before they jump on their keyboards and they pile on with attacking someone under fire. And keep in mind, these are real people. They have jobs, they have families to support. And when you cancel someone and you permanently punish them, then we take away the willingness of our society to be forgiving, and we take away all semblance of grace and order. And that's why I set out to write this book. I want to shine a light on how damaging this practice is and make the case that the only thing that we need to cancel is cancel culture itself.
So day 2 proved to be insignificant. Day 1, we knew it was gonna be a little bit of a soft cancel. We just wanted to get some controversy. Day 2, we were hoping to get out the mob mentality, which, as you can see, there was a little altercation. Day 3, our plan is to go to, babe, can you get that? So I'm gonna continue with like day 3, we're gonna do like a
we'll start like a day
HOA meeting.
We'll start from the top, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, did you tell us how to set? Maybe we should be good to go.
What?
Marley Jaxx?
Hi.
Is that a...
A Boise social media influencer
has been arrested and
And
charged
now the
with
woman could face assault charges.
She's an entrepreneur, she's a CEO.
all for a video prank.
The police chief says this was no laughing matter.
Marley.
We've actually like put this video down for like 2 weeks. I can't even talk about it because I can't believe I'm saying this. My legal counsel said I can't. But in the meantime, people are talking about it and I can't say anything.
We also still have those other, 11 videos that can still do pretty good.
With this reputation though, like people think that I don't know what they think. By then, like, will it even matter? I feel like people are gonna be like, you got what you asked for. But this is my life. Like this is, every time my phone buzzes, I'm like, I don't know if I wanna know. There are people that I know and people that I don't know that are publicly attacking me for something that isn't true. My team is like handling questions and emails. Steven's getting inundated with messages, some of my best friends, and they're all asking me what to say, and I'm like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. I have people that are reaching out, people that care about me, and I also can't say anything to them either, which is also hard. That's an interesting thought too, is like there's people that I thought
I would hear from in a time of need that I didn't hear from. And then I wonder, like, how would I react if it was the other way? Like, would I jump to be there for them? Or maybe we weren't as close as I thought.
Hey, I'm at Inner Circle today, so it's like really awkward to be here. I'll tell you everything very soon, but I really appreciate you. It's like when I woke up this morning, I didn't even want to look at my phone. It's really hard walking in that room with all of my peers and, you know, smile, say hello, and not sure if they're smiling back at me to be friendly or if they're smiling with sympathy, like they know. Whatever their reaction is, it's so genuinely painful. A lot of people have jumped to my defense. Some people who I don't even know are commenting and like kind of adding fuel to the fire. I definitely feel dizzy. Like you don't know the conversations going on behind closed doors because the negativity is so much louder. I am in a constant state of anxiety and I don't know when the pressure will release. I'm feeling very safe in this stairwell right now. The moment I walk out there, it's all real. Yeah, I don't like, do I go out there? Do I talk to people? Yeah, we probably should. Okay, I'm gonna go in and just be.
Nobody twists arms, nobody's forcing anything, they're not doing it for anything. Like you earned that love.
Yeah.
Sorry about your garbage.
Yeah.
It sucks. You're living your life and doing all the things right and just doing your thing, and then something comes along and it's out of your control, but just being in that spot, it just sucks. It just sucks.
You can't control other people's thoughts. You can't control what other people are saying. Yeah, if you need a safe place, come find us. And even if we like pretend to have conversations, like if you need me to just stand here and like, you know, there's no Marley to see here.
Well, it's been 24 hours since I posted Marley's mugshot on social media. And I gotta say, I'm disappointed. I really thought that there would be more hate. Come on, guys! Where is the pitchforks?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up. We put this video, as well as my whole life, on hold. We had 7 days of experiments planned out. We were gonna do the soft, controversial tweets, start very mild, go into public and start up some conversations with strangers and have some polarizing opinions. Day 3, we were gonna go to an HOA meeting and state some controversial opinions. We didn't even get that far. After that happened, I thought, let's just call it off. And then it got leaked. Someone posted a screenshot, and I am really getting what I asked for right now. And I wish I could make it stop. I want this to all be over.
Have you responded to the person that leaked it?
Yeah, I'm messaging him and he's not being very friendly about it.
Did he even tell you how he got it?
No, I have no idea how he got it. Like, I don't know, or maybe he knows someone there and recognized my name or something. And I feel like I dodged a bullet there, that no one noticed it then. Yeah. That's why I was like, we're not gonna do this video anymore, we're gonna lay low. I've like cried all my tears, I am numb, I am talking to everyone that I can, but I'm also not allowed to talk to people about what happened. And it's so hard because I know the power of being able to tell your story.
I'm Travis Ritchie, and for the last 15 years, I've been an entrepreneur. I've invested in over a dozen companies. I've employed hundreds of people and have built a real estate portfolio that allows me the freedom to do what I want to do on a daily basis. My passion and my labor of love is pouring into individuals who are incarcerated and giving them purpose on what they can do. And that's because I'm a felon. Yeah, trusted the wrong people, that's for sure. I was in my early 20s, and my whole goal in life was to manage money. Loved finances, enjoyed business, and was giving people a rate of return that allowed them to do things that they had never done before. When you give people this sense of financial freedom, there's a lot of ego that goes along with that. People can do things that they've always dreamt of, and it gives you a sense of fulfillment. 24 years old, had many millions of dollars under management. We were registered with the federal government and failed to register with the state of Arizona. In that state, at that time, anything over the threshold of $99,000 is a Class 4 felony. I had 66 of them. The state of Arizona indicted me, transactions of an unregistered securities dealer. Simply put, if an individual were to raise a lot of money, to gather assets, and to not tell a governing body, it would be viewed fraudulently. That money went from bank account A to bank account B, and the state of Arizona was not told about it. I was guilty. There was no money laundering, no bank transfers, no bank heist. It was very vanilla and very boring. And because of that, I fought that for years, years and years. Never taken into custody, never arrested, which is very confusing because you're on the 5 o'clock news. I remember getting the phone call from my attorney, and he said, you're gonna be on the news tonight. They've called us. We haven't commented, but they're gonna air it. And I'll never forget it. I was sitting at the dinner table by myself, and I remember my story coming up, and the only photo that they had of me was my driver's license photo from 16. It kind of made me giggle at the moment, because here you are under a multi-million-dollar indictment, and here's this 16-year-old kid that looks like he did it. I remember the newscaster read the story like it was just language. It's their job. So he went through it, start to finish, lasted about 90 seconds, and it was over. You can't unring that bell. You're put on the news, and the court of public opinion definitely reigns supreme. At this time, I'm still running the business, and so you have one foot in, arguing and fighting for your life, and you have one foot out because you're so discouraged and confused. An individual does something bad, police officers show up, you're handcuffed, you're given charges, you argue, and you get an outcome. It was 6 years for me. No handcuffs, no police officers, a lot of backdoor conversations, a lot of money. I turned over deeds to assets, vehicles, and homes. I hired defense counsel because they were connected with the prosecutor's office. And up until this point, I thought, this is where we write a humongous check and get slapped, and we move on with this chapter. He said, I'm gonna make an example out of you. I remand you to 2 years in the Arizona Department of Corrections. I'm like, that's the moment that life just stops.
Did you feel canceled?
Oh, without a doubt. Family and friends, for sure. There is this presumption from the mob of absolute guilt before any conversation, really.
People lose sight of the fact they conflate cancel culture with actual wrongdoing under the law.
And I think once it's on Google, once it's on the 5 o'clock news, it cements a lot of people's justification to tell you how they know you're wrong. I had so many years of pent-up aggression and anger and sadness, depression and guilt and shame for everything that had transpired. I knew that I was going to use this mess for a message. And so coming back out, I knew that I had to control the narrative.
You have to be willing to tell your story, because if you're not, someone else is going to tell it for you, and you can rest assured they're not going to tell it in the way that you want it told.
I mean, you have so many people that are so afraid to say what's on their mind. I started putting it out there, and it was so uncomfortable at first. You don't talk about going to prison. And so when I controlled the narrative, people were more interested in learning what I had learned versus learning about what I had done.
This has been insane. I set out to explore cancel culture by getting myself canceled, and things went a little different to how I planned. I wanted to explore what it would be like to be in that situation, to see how easy it is to get people to believe something just because it's on social media. In the week I ran this experiment, I'll be honest, it might have been the hardest thing I've ever done. I pissed people off. I almost lost my mind. I also found out who has my back, and that's invaluable. to know who your real friends are. Was it worth it? Well, I haven't been able to share with you what really happened until now. The truth is, each part of the experiment you saw was completely fabricated in terms of what happened for the effect of this video. Dan!
What's up?
I have the craziest idea I need to pitch you on.
I like crazy ideas. Okay.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet. The response was not.
But I don't want the entire general internet to think that like this is normal
Vast
and acceptable.
majority of people actually came to Marley's defense.
Dan was willing to take a lot of bullets for this experiment. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How'd you feel watching this? What do you think of cancel culture? Just like I said in the beginning, don't believe everything you see online. Who knows if any of it's true?